On this episode of Delivering Marketing Joy, we find out how Brandivate Bill becomes promo corner Petrie. Hey there, and welcome to another edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. I am your host, Kirby Hasseman, and joining me today is an industry rock star. We all know him, we all love him. Bill Petrie, who is, I guess, formerly the CEO of Brandivate, but is now president of Promo Corner. Big news in the promo industry. Bill, thanks for taking the time to join.
Thanks, Kirby. It's an honor to be here. It's been an interesting week.
Yeah,
it's been a very interesting week.
I bet. So, look, hey, let's not dance around it. We've got huge news in the industry, in the promo world, and you're kind of taking over as president of Promo Corner. So, give us the scoop. Why did you decide to do this? How did it come together? Tell us all about it.
Good question. And don't you hate when people say good question? Because it usually means they're thinking of their answer. So let me think of my answer while I tell you, Kirby, that was an outstanding question. I initially built Brandivate in the fall of 2014 because I was really at a career crossroads. I had left Guy Brown, which was the promotional products distributorship I had started within an organization because they affiliated their business with Staples. And so I found myself out of a job even though we were very successful at Guy Brown. And I went to a couple other distributors, and over the course of about 9 months, my confidence was really shattered. Now, I'll be very candid with you, and whoever's watching, I guess. And I got my confidence back by just dabbling with putting my resume online in a website format. And out of that, that's how Brandivate was born. I initially built Brandivate to find a job, to build a resume, to put it out there in a different way to hopefully get attention. And as I wrote in my blog a couple days ago, that I wrote, something funny happened on the way to putting my resume online. I actually built a business. Yeah. We have talked about being an accidental entrepreneur, and I know our good friend Roger Burnett feels that he's in that situation now too. He's an accidental entrepreneur. And so I built Brandivate initially to find a job, and then I got to work with really great companies. I got to work with Next Products. I got to work with T-Shirt Tycoon. I got to work with Jason Lukash and Mike Simzak at Org Audio. I got to do some really cool things, and I got to work with great distributors as well. Brendan Nelson with Brand Aid and a couple other folks. Really just awesome people. And I was able to build a business. But I fell into the trap I think a lot of people fall into when they start their own organization. And I think over the summer, late summer, I realized I had fallen in love with my own brand. I really did. Liked seeing it on everything. I loved all my social media posts. And I kind of fell victim of that, and I lost sight of what my goal was. My goal was to find what my next career move was going to be. Not just a job, but I really wanted to find a partnership, a home. And so this fall, in 2016, I hit a realization that I have really taken Brandivate as far as I can in the industry. Being a consultant, and I really don't like that word, but that's essentially what I have been doing. Being a consultant is challenging. It's a challenging business to scale.
Right.
I'm not going to hire someone to also do consulting. I could scale my fees, and I did. I could scale my speaking fees, but it was never going to become this big thing that made me wealthy. Right? It certainly provided for my family. I was able to live off of that, and I'm proud of that. But I was never going to take it much further. And so this past fall, I made a decision around Expo to really kind of re-engage what that goal was, to try to find that next position. And I put that out there through blogs. I think we talked about it on Unscripted a couple times. And I had conversations in Vegas telling people, hey, I'm looking. If you know something where you think I'd be a fit, I'm looking. And I was in a great position because Brandivate was self-sustaining, so I didn't have to make a choice. I didn't have to jump to something. And so Joel Moore, who I write for Promo Corner, and you do a lot of content for Promo Corner, approached me and he said, "Hey, are you actually serious? I can't tell if you're joking or not." And I said I was dead serious. And so he and I started talking, and what initially sounded like, wow, that might be a good fit, very quickly became the clear ideal fit. And so we had some conversations, we had negotiations, and we decided that Promo Corner would acquire Brandivate, and in that acquire me as well, and I would serve as president of Promo Corner. So that's really how it all happened. I mean, it is one of those things. It really is. I'm actually really satisfied right now, and I'm not a big fan of the word satisfied because I actually achieved a long-term goal. I mean, that was a long-term goal, and to have it actually come to fruition, pretty kick-ass. I'm not going to lie. It feels pretty good.
No, you should. Congratulations are certainly in order, and I'm happy for you and happy for Promo Corner. I think it's a really good fit. But what's interesting is, and you and I have sort of talked about this off air, is about the time that I started delivering Marketing Joy, we've been doing this for 120 some episodes, it was about the time that you started building Brandivate. And so it's been interesting to sort of follow that journey, side by side. So I guess, does that mean that part of the journey's over for you?
I don't think it's part of the, if you look at the entire scope of a journey as a book, no, the journey's not over. Definitely that chapter's over, right? Okay. So the way I look at it, and it's very interesting, we did talk about this off air, so I am now a 4-time loser on your show, right? So you followed me, I was on your 8th episode, and it was the day I launched Brandivate, was the day we recorded. I think it dropped a few weeks later, but I was on the 8th episode of Delivering Marketing Joy, and then I was on one with Dana Zezzo, and then I was on another solo one, and now I'm now doing it again, and I'm honored to do it. I love doing this with you. It's so much fun. But I don't look at that entrepreneurial journey as over. Right. I learned so much about myself, both professionally and personally. Professionally, I learned how to really use my voice to speak to the industry. And what I mean by that is I learned to have the confidence in what I thought, what I believed, how I said things, to really put myself out there. The one thing I'm proud most of myself is I am the same person talking to you. I'm the same person talking to someone at a bar. I'm the same person when we're doing unscripted. I am the same person throughout that. If I'm standing in front of a group of people, I'm the same way. And the biggest compliment I can get paid, and one of my recent clients on the Brandivate side before I made the jump, made the comment every time I call. He goes, I feel like I'm on Unscripted. I feel like I'm a guest on Unscripted. That was a tremendous compliment to me. And so I learned to have that confidence that I have something to say in the industry, and damn it, I'm going to say it. And you know what? Some people aren't going to like it. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And I'm really okay with that. I am very comfortable with that. So I don't think the entrepreneurial journey is over. As Joel and I talked about Promo Corner acquiring Brandivate, what he was hoping for me to do with Promo Corner is essentially what I have done with Brandivate. It's to build the brand, right? So I look back, I'm very proud of what I've done. I'm very proud of building Brandivate, and now I get to do it on another scale, a larger scale, with a lot more firepower behind me. So hell no, that journey's not over. Is it taking a different direction? Yeah, you bet. It sure is. But it's not over. It's not over until I say it's over, Kirby.
Okay. So let me ask you this. What about this new piece of the journey? What's most exciting? What's the thing you're most looking forward to digging into?
I think the most exciting thing is I've always looked at Promo Corner, and I've had a relationship with them as a content provider for a number of years. I've always looked at Promo Corner as a sleeping giant. They've got great services. They've got great products that they help both suppliers and distributors. But I don't think it hasn't grown as quickly as I think some people would like it to grow, and that happens with every company. I think they've hit a little bit of a plateau, and as our industry, more content's created, there's more noise. I think there's a challenge to get that message out there. Hey, here's what we do well. Here's how we can provide value. So I'm looking forward to doing very similar to what I did with Brandivate, but with a group of people, right? That's the one thing that's been, I don't regret, but the most challenging thing about working from home alone is I didn't have a team to work with. I would waste your time and bounce ideas off of you or a Dana Zezzo or, a Mark Graham, a Danny Rosen, and I'm trying to think of who other names I can drop so when I post this on social media, I can tag them.
I love it.
Well, let's be honest. But I would use that as a network, but I didn't have a team. And so the ability to work with a group of people, to develop a vision together, and then to execute against that vision together, that really energizes and excites me. I haven't had that opportunity in years. And when last time I had that opportunity, I was a very different person.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the experiences I have today. I didn't have the confidence I have today. So I am really excited about getting my hands dirty, getting with the team, and really showcasing what Promo Corner can be to this industry.
No, that's cool, man. Well, again, congrats. You've answered my 3 questions. I give everybody the chance to ask me one. So do you have one queued up for me?
Yeah, it's as we're recording this, it's Friday, and I want to know why the hell you're wearing a sports coat on Friday.
Well, specific to this interview, I wanted to be extra classed up to talk to you.
Well, notice I'm only showing myself from the waist up. You don't want to know what's going on down here.
Yeah, nobody ever does.
No. So I actually do have a real question.
Yeah.
So we worked together back when I was at Halo, and you were a rep at Lee Wayne when that was a combined company, and then you went and you started your own entrepreneurial path, and that's very well documented, and you've had a tremendous amount of success. God, that sounded like Donald Trump. A tremendous amount of success.
It's been huge.
Huge. And that's not fake news, people. That is not fake news. So have you ever thought about, or have you ever been approached to sell one of your enterprises? And if so, if you haven't, what would it take to have you sell something? Because you've built Hasseman Marketing Communications, which is a full-service marketing company in Coshocton, Ohio, for anybody who needs those services in the greater Coshocton area. You are, if I remember correctly, you just got your federal liquor license, so you can brew beer now legally and sell the beer, more importantly, for Hasseman Brewing. You've got a number of things. What would it take for you to sell? Because I knew what it took for me. What would it take for you?
No, so it is a good question. It is one that I have thought about. I think anybody who starts a business at least has that either that discussion or those thoughts. What I'd say is I'm not interested currently in selling any of my businesses. I have actually sold a business before.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We had a retail. My wife and I had a retail business that we built for 4 years and then sold it to move on to the next thing. Hold
on real quick. What was the retail business? What kind of products and services?
It was it was a franchise, Candy Bouquet. So actually, like flower style arrangements made of candy. It was mainly my wife's brainchild. She was much better at that, as you might imagine.
But I see that's a little nugget of Kirby we didn't know.
Yeah, that's good. And so, as for selling, what I would say is the example I would give is like my house. I really love my house. I have absolutely no interest in moving, but if someone comes and offers me, double the value, hey, let's chat, because moving vans aren't that expensive. So no, I'm not really interested in selling, but I think with almost anybody, there's always a number, right? But it would have to be about whether folks would be taken care of and all that sort of thing.
Right.
But yeah.
So for you, it'd take a specific number is what I'm hearing your answer, correct?
Specific number, specific situation. If I felt like at the end of the day the company would be in better hands and that the people who are a part of my team would be in great shape, interesting. But it would, of course, I wouldn't do that for free.
And for me, it was so much more about the situation.
Yeah.
Right. I could not have and this is no bullshit, I could not have scripted a better place for me to go than Promo Corner, and I'm super excited about it. So I liked your answer a lot. I really did. I thought it was a good answer. It was an honest one, too.
Yeah, thanks, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on. We will definitely have to do it again, maybe a fifth time around. And that will wrap up this Delivering Marketing Joy. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, but wait! Can you do me a favor? Please subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done it already, the way to do it's right over here. And hey, if you want to watch the last episode, check that out over here. Again, before you leave, subscribe!